against some of the practices that they use. What stands out to you? What was outlined in the lawsuit?
Well, a lot of it was outlined brilliantly by Athena in the report. I should say at the outset, even before talking about the particulars of the lawsuit, the Attorney General of the state of New York right now is Barbara Underwood, who is not a political person, who's not running for Attorney General in the fall. She has the respect of people on all sides of the political spectrum. So I believe her and credit her when she says that this suit was brought when the facts and the law supported it. As pointed out in the report, there is allegation after allegation that this foundation was basically a front for Donald Trump and his business interests to do what they pleased. It's not a particularly large foundation, given that Donald Trump purports to be a billionaire multiple times over. But over and over and over, you see that the foundation didn't have any employees. It didn't have any oversight. It was governed more, as the complaint alleges, more by whim than by law. The board of directors never met, hasn't met in I think 19 years, since 1999. So it was a foundation that over and over and over again, backed up by specific pieces of evidence, by emails and by documents and by very credible, concrete allegations, was used as a funnel to pay off legal debt to various charities or to further his political campaign. And everyone knows that a foundation that is set up under the laws like the Trump Foundation that's clear as black and white, is not supposed to engage in politics, is not supposed to be directed by a business, and is supposed to have a lot of oversight.
Yes, that's a good point. The New York Attorney General also has referred this, as you heard, to both the IRS and the FEC, the Federal Election Committee. Walk us through what may happen from there.
People make referrals all the time, and you never know what sort of bureaucratic meanderings occur after you make a referral. I have some more confidence that if there is an enforcement action to be taken by the IRS, that's more likely to happen than an enforcement action by the Federal Election Commission. And that's just because historically, the Federal Election Commission is it's a commission with 5 people, and it's stocked usually with people from who are political from the various parties, and has a majority of people who would be supportive of the president's party. And it has historically been known to be, a commission that doesn't necessarily bring enforcement actions quickly. That's been true in both Democratic and Republican administrations. The IRS, I think it depends on whether or not you have independent people who are going to go through the proper process and dot all the I's and cross all the T's. But again, from what I can see in a reading from this afternoon of the lawsuit, there are credible allegations that tax laws were broken.
Let's turn to the Justice Department's Inspector General report. You've had time to go through it by now. What's your analysis of the report's findings?
First, again, with respect to the report as a whole, it is thorough, it is detailed, it is reasoned, it is not histrionic. It was authored by a team of people led by Michael Horowitz, who I know well and is an alum of the Southern District of New York. And so it's everything I expect it to be. I expect, and have seen already on television and on social media, people cherry-picking particular pieces that they want to emphasize because it supports a particular political narrative, and then denigrate other portions of the report because they don't like it. My position is very similar to what I heard a little while ago the FBI Director Chris Wray utter. And that is, I accept, in reading it, and I haven't read all of it, but I've read the executive summary and large portions of it, based on what I've read, I accept the report in total. And that means some things that are unfortunate and sad to have to accept. Among them, that Jim Comey engaged in errors of judgment, that Jim Comey was insubordinate. I accept that. But I accept also that there were FBI agents who engaged in text communications that they shouldn't have, that are terrible. I accept also that there were FBI agents who seem to have accepted gifts and gratuities from reporters, and that shouldn't have happened. But at the same time, I also accept the determination that the IG made that the decision not to charge Hillary Clinton in connection with the email investigation was also appropriate. Maybe the closure wasn't handled well, but the decision based on a very sort of tight analysis of the multiple statutes that the FBI and the DOJ were considering with respect to Hillary Clinton's emails, that decision was made appropriately. And that doesn't make everyone happy. I also accept, in connection with what the IG has found, that there's no sort of deep state operating to rig the system in favor of one candidate or the other. Jim Comey may have made errors of judgment, but again, I credit the IG report with saying that he was not doing that in connection with trying to sway the election one way or another. So there's a lot here for people to pick apart, and a lot here for certain sides to say they like, and other sides that say they don't like. I think we should respect